Hey guys, got a video I want to do for you today showing you how to fix the dryer takes 2 cycles to dry issue. Now the most common thing that will fix the issue, the most fixable thing, is where your vent hose goes on the back. So if you had a vent hose and you could pull it off here, typically that hose, wherever it goes up into your wall and out of your house, is clogged. Either the hose, it's kinked, or it's smashed up against the wall, or maybe where it goes into the wall, that piping, maybe that's clogged up. Sometimes on the outside of your house, the little flaps that are supposed to open and blow, you'll notice they're not blowing if you go out and look when your dryer's on, if they're not blowing. So it's a restriction of airflow is what causes this issue. Okay, because typically what you'll do is you'll notice, well, the dryer's hot. If I stick my hand inside, it's nice and hot. So first thing to check, cheapest, easiest thing to check, and I say cheap, but I'm going to show you how to fix this problem for free. It's not going to cost you anything. But the first thing you want to check is that hose. A lot of times it's just kinked, smashed, or maybe full of lint. You take it off and all this stuff starts piling out of it. Just a couple bucks to replace that hose. Maybe hook a leaf blower up and blow all that crap out of the outside of your house or try to vacuum it out. But anyway, that's step one. That's the easiest thing to check. Now, at first glance, I'm going to show you what the issue is with this one, because that's not the problem with this. That hose, nice, clear outside, not obstructed at all. So what else could be the issue? Well, at first glance, this dryer, I've gone through and cleaned it, but this part anyway was pretty matted up here with lint. So we had a lint issue, vacuumed all of that out, but you can see it's pretty dirty. I mean, I've kind of wiped it down a little bit. But at first glance, you'd say, well, there's nothing wrong with this. Even if you were the one to pull all that off and vacuum it, that's fine. You open it up, right, and you look in here, and you're like, well, this isn't so bad, right? It's not so bad. You say, well, must not be the dryer, but it is the dryer. And I'm going to show you what about the dryer. It's not a heating element problem. It's not a sensor problem. It is still an air obstruction problem. Because what happens is, right here, and I'll show you once we get the back off, but the air behind here is a vent with a heating element. The air gets sucked up into this little vent across the heating element coils. The air pumps out right here, nice and hot, circulates with the clothes, and then the air gets sucked in through here, which is where the lint trap is, and then down out the back of your dryer. And so what most people don't know is that on the back side, there's a duct right here that this fits into, this thing right here. So we're going to take these 2 screws out, and then we're going to move to the back. And I'm going to show you how to check this and clean this, because this being obstructed and full of lint and all kinds of crap, that's the issue, and we're going to fix that. So let's, I'm going to take those 2 out, and we'll switch over to the back side. Okay, so now we're on to the back of the machine. So we took those 2 screws out. Now we have to take all of these screws off, and this is a little 1/4 nut driver, and I've got a drill set up, so I'll buzz these off here in just a sec. But you've got, oh, there's not one on, there's normally one on the bottom, but there's not in this case. We're gonna need to take these out too. Somebody put this on here, so we'll take those 2 off. We're gonna take these off. We're gonna take this plate off and make sure that we got all our screws there. And these gotta come out, and then these 2 in this back panel is gonna come off. So you could use a little ratchet and a nut driver. You could use one of those screwdrivers that has the nut driver attachments in the kit, but I've got a drill with a nut driver attachment. We're just gonna take this off. I'll also take this off too, just for cleaning purposes, but while I'm at it, I'll get that done. All right, so now we've taken those screws out, and we've got the back panels off. Got that set up here, keeping track of my screws. And once again, take a look. It's really not that dirty. That's actually really clean compared to some things that I've seen. So if you didn't know any better, you'd take that panel off and you'd look at this and you'd say, oh, well, it's fine. There's nothing here to worry about. All right, here's that duct I was talking about. We've got the 2 screws up top taken out, so it's loose up here. Now we got to take 4 of those 1/4 nut driver screws out right there, and we're going to pull this off and see what we get. All right, so we got those 4 screws removed. Now what we're going to do is we're going to just, from up here, just kind of pull out, see what we're dealing with. Okay, see some stuff pop out. So far, it's not looking so bad. and I can see right away, immediately, we've got, let's see what we got here, if I can do this one-handed. A sock. So sock fell down in here, probably had it on top of the dryer with the lint trap out, and it fell down in there. I don't know how you wouldn't notice that, but otherwise it's really not so bad. There's some stuff down, we're gonna vacuum all of that out, but here's the culprit for why it's not blowing out the back like it's supposed to. Okay, so we're cleaned out now, and you see I got in there and vacuumed all of that out, pulled everything off the back. Now when I go through and rebuild something for the purpose of reselling it, I do all this anyway. And when I initially plugged this in, there was hardly any airflow, so I knew I was going to find something in here. But based off of how linty the lint trap was when I pulled it out, I kind of thought it was just going to be piled up with lint right here and it would all fall out. But in this case, it was actually a sock. So, but in your case, when you take it off, just be careful, because sometimes all kinds of stuff can just fall out of there and get everywhere. So make sure you got a good vacuum cleaner. It will go everywhere, and like lint, it's like almost like a powder sometimes. It will go everywhere. But in this case, maybe you found your favorite sock and got that back. But you always want to check down in here and be careful. These edges, they are sharp, so I typically wear gloves. But now all that's cleaned out, so we check down in here. This whole thing is clear now. So I'm gonna reverse the order to put it back together, and that will fix this dryer's low heat or 2 cycles to dry the clothes issue. I hope this helps somebody out. I'll do some more videos because there are other issues that would cause heating problems, but in this particular case, I knew exactly what was going to be the issues, the air restriction. So yeah, if you guys found this information useful, helpful, please like, subscribe, share the video, and maybe we can get it out there to some people who need to get their clothes dried up. Thanks guys, y'all have a great day.